Before we begin, I want to share a brief content note. This podcast discusses coercive control, emotional abuse, and parental alienation. There are no graphic details, but these topics can be heavy. Please take care of yourself while listening, and feel free to pause or step away at any time. This is my second episode of After the Quiet. In the beginning, it didn't feel like control. It felt like love. It felt like being chosen, like being wanted, like mattering deeply to someone else. Coercive control rarely begins with fear. It often begins with intensity, with closeness that feels romantic, with attention that feels flattering, especially when you're young. I was only in high school when my relationship began. At that age, wanting to spend all your time together feels charming. It feels like devotion, like proof that what you have is special. There was an unspoken expectation that we would be together whenever we weren't in school. And for a long time, I didn't question that. But slowly, other parts of my life began to shrink. When my friends had slumber parties, I often didn't go. Not because I was told I couldn't, but because being elsewhere felt uncomfortable. Choosing them felt like choosing against him. At the time, I called that commitment. I didn't yet see it as absence. There was also a difference in how my friends were received. One of my closest groups of friends was very academic. We followed the rules. We cared about school. We were cautious, observant, and close. He wasn't fond of them. Those friends tried to tell me something didn't feel right. They felt uncomfortable in his presence. They noticed things I didn't yet have words for. At the time, I interpreted their concern as judgment, or jealousy, or misunderstanding. Interestingly, he liked my other group of friends, the ones who smoked, who liked to party, who were less likely to question things. Their presence felt easier, less threatening. And then there was the commentary directed at me. I didn't drink. I didn't party. That had always been true about me. But suddenly, that became something to mock. I was called a goody two-shoes, not affectionately, not kindly, just enough to make me feel naive, uptight, less than. This is how control often works. It doesn't just pull you closer. It quietly steers you away from people who reflect you clearly. It rewards the connections that don't challenge it, and it reshapes how you see yourself in the process. I told myself this was normal, that relationships require compromise, that I was being too sensitive. I didn't yet understand that love doesn't need to isolate you from clarity, and it doesn't ridicule you into challenging who you are. Looking back, my body noticed before my mind did. The hesitation before making plans, the subtle embarrassment about who I was, the quiet urge to soften myself to keep the peace. None of it felt dramatic. It just felt careful. Love doesn't need you to abandon yourself. It doesn't require you to distance yourself from people who care. And it doesn't ask you to become smaller so it can feel secure. If you're listening and remembering moments like this, moments that once felt reasonable but now feel heavy, please know this. You weren't foolish. You weren't overreacting. You were young and you were responding to pressure you didn't yet have the language for. In the next episode, I'll talk about what happens when these patterns deepen and how often control disguises itself as concern. Thank you for listening. Thank you for holding this with me. This is After the Quiet. If you need support, please reach out to someone you trust or a local support service. You are not weak for needing help. You are human. And if no one else has told you this today, your voice matters.